You know what? Hi. Welcome back to Unruly Fashion episode 2, season 2. We're hanging out with the tutus, baby. I just before we get started, I just want to report BB to you people because before this episode started, he spent a good chunk of it bullying me. I'm being bullied, guys. I'm being bullied. My rights are being infringed upon. This is just as bad as Roe v. Wade. Really. Okay, I'm kidding. Everybody calm down. Relax. Don't put down your pitchforks. But this man, first of all, said that I'm a late comer. I am, but there was no need for him to say it. That's all I'm saying. There was no need for him to point it out. Number two, he's complaining about my lack of accessories. I'm accessorized. And he's like, put a necklace on. Why am I the one who's dressing you up? First of all, I have chandelier earrings on and they don't work with and then the I was just babbling and he was like, it doesn't matter because you told us about Cuban links and now I'm wearing my Cuban links, like I broke out all my jewelry and now you're not putting your jewelry on. Start a GoFundMe for me, guys. I'm being bullied. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, yes. And I'm very sad about it and I'm upset and now I'm going to take a sip of coffee because BB's bullying me. Rightfully so, but I'm still okay, season 2, episode 2, we're off to a great start. This is where I tell you about the wedding. I should stop clapping. Maybe I should just to get them just clapping his ear. Yeah, this is where I tell you about the big fat Nigerian wedding. Okay, I'm wearing the wedding colors. Well, minus this red. The wedding colors were actually gold and green, so you can see the gold on my earrings over here. See this ring? Respect yourself now. We have guests. This ring here, and then I have like green pants on, which you're gonna see in the pictures. Did you just see my bare feet? Wow. I'm in my house. I don't know what you think this is. I'm in my house just telling you things about fashion. I'm not at the Ritz. I could be, but I'm not. But I could be. Derailing myself and pulling myself back. Okay, so the wedding. The wedding was like the greatest thing ever. Okay, the wedding. We went to Nigeria for this wedding, but before all of that, let me just preface this by saying I had no idea how insane weddings are, right? It's always good when you're on the outside and it's like, oh, this is nice. You come in, you're admiring the decor, you're admiring the bridal train, you're admiring the bride and the dress, and you're like, this is nice. As someone who is now on the inside track, my God, my goodness, my lords and deities. Do you know how many times I had to drive to Ottawa for the dress? I'm not complaining. I'm just, weddings are a lot. And my sister had a wedding planner because my sister was like, not me. I'm not. No. my sister is the embodiment of I no come this life to suffer. She said, absolutely not. I will be outsourcing all of that. So she outsourced 95% of the wedding. She was like, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that. You pick it, you tell me, I pay. I'm like, that's right, girl. But still, like all the other things that we were supposed to do, like the wedding dress, obviously she wasn't going to outsource that. We had to go to this beautiful little boutique in Ottawa because all the ones we went to in Toronto are trash. Shame on you, Toronto. I was rooting for you. But we went to a store like to try on wedding dresses. And these people don't wash the wedding dresses. Like the ones that they have outside for people to try on. It had like pit sweat. It had like brown discolorations. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Steam it at least. Like, I'm not gonna name and shame, but gross. But if you want me to tell you who it is, I can tell you later, so you don't have to go there and spend their money. Because first of all, the audacity of them, the dresses that you're trying on are filthy, and then they have the nerve, the effrontery, the gall to have their wedding dresses start in the mid to high tens of thousands. No, who are you with these dirty dresses? I don't think so. I don't. Gross, very disgusting. If you're a wedding shop and you do that, I don't know what your excuse is. I don't care. This is a premium event. Clean the wedding dresses. This is disgusting. That's how people get contact dermatitis and all that stuff. Yuck. Anyway, we went to Ottawa. And it was this beautiful, nice little like boutique shop run by this lovely Ukrainian woman. And she was just like, we walked in because we called her because we wanted a specific dress from a different brand. And she was like, oh, due to the war in Ukraine, it might not be able to get here on time and da-da-da-da-da, but come in, see if you like something else, and then we can work with that. And then we ended up purchasing her own brand from her. because on top of everything that my sister did for her wedding, she did the one thing that I have always said that I would do, but seeing her embody it, I was like, she said, I am not spending $1 trillion on a wedding dress that I'm going to wear one day. And there was nothing we tried to. She was like, la 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 la. I'm not doing it. We're like, she was like, la 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 la. I have a budget. I'm not doing it. And mom was like, but it's your wedding dress. She was like, I'm gonna rent one. My mom almost had a conniption. She was like, rent? She was like, if she had pearls, she'd be clutching them. She was like, rent? I'm like, please do not kill our mother. I'm begging you to please do what she wants. My mother was like, rent a wedding dress. It was so funny. You know, it's like if this wedding didn't stress me the hell out, I would really honestly love to see it again because the drama of it all, it was so fun. Like I didn't need to go outside for drama because the internal drama. My mom was like, you will absolutely not do such a thing. So she paid for the wedding dress and we had to go all the way to Ottawa because that's where the one my sister loved was. And then the lady was so kind, like the one we finally picked. She was so kind to like do all the adjustments. Like it was a beautiful dress. Like my sister looked like the little princess she is. It was so cute. Congratulations to her and her man. But yeah, so that wedding dress saga unfolded. You know, drove to Ottawa several times. I love driving, so I didn't mind, but I was exhausted. I think I'm still exhausted. And then after all that, we had to pick the colors for the bridal train, pick the colors for the mother of the bride, pick the fabric. Like I remember I'd come on the podcast sometimes, I'd be like, baby, I'm exhausted. He's like, I know, I've planned a wedding. It's horrible. I'm like, I can't breathe. That it's not even my wedding. He's like, it's okay. It'll be fine. It was not fine. It was not. I was exhausted. It was worth it. But fine? No. It was totally worth it. 10/10 would do it again. 10/10 recommend. Great stuff at the end of it. But at the time, it was not fun. So we picked the fabric for the bridesmaids was emerald green, and then the men wore the bridal the groomsmen. Hey, it was groomsmen I was thinking of since the groomsmen wore like champagne tuxedos with like matching emerald green bow ties and like pocket squares. And then it was so I was in my bag. I was like, okay, so if the girls are wearing this, the men are wearing this, and these are little details, and then the groom's gonna wear this, and then seeing it all come together on the day of the wedding, I was like, that was me. I did that. Oh God, it was so nice. It was so. My sister, the greatest compliment that she paid that bridal train was that she said, "I wanted to be in my own bridal train. You guys looked so good." I was like, "Thank you, darling." Because we did. It was magical. I have the pictures to prove it. And then I was now the maid of honor on top of everything. Which I mean, contrary to the pictures I put on Instagram, it seemed like I was having a party the whole time. But honestly, nobody told me that as a maid of honor, A, I would never get anything to eat. B, I would not have a moment's rest. C, I did not get anything to drink. Like being on the bridal train is nuts. And it wasn't for lack of food. There was food everywhere, alcohol everywhere. Who had the time? I was wrangling the bridesmaids, two wonderful girls, every last one of them, like wonderful. Like it was so much. I just imagined how much harder my life would have been if these were a bunch of unruly people. But no, they were all like, once I said, oh, let's go do this, but once the order was, everybody just got in place. The only time we had a little snag was when it was time for us to dance in and people were confused. But that was the groomsmen, men, screwing things up, men. The bridesmaids were ready and information, and the groomsmen were just misbehaving. They got it together at the end, though. They got it together. Like I can't wait for the video to come out because they got it together. So I was wrangling bridesmaids. People were pulling me from pillar because the sad thing about being on the bridal train and recognizable because most of my siblings, the last three, have been in Canada for a great part of their lives. So our family back home don't remember them. They remember my sister who got married as well, kind of a baby or a little younger. So I'm the one they know. So every time I walk by, they're like, not like this. No, I'm just like, okay, I'm fine. I'm not gonna scream. It was nice though. I saw so many people I hadn't seen in so long, so many uncles and aunts, some of whom I ignored because I wasn't talking to you before. I'm not gonna talk to you right now. I don't give a damn. And then some of whom I was so happy to see. Like, I was just like, oh my God. I'm like, yes, 10 million souvenirs. Give everybody at home. I'm so happy to see you. And then, yeah, but the corollary was that I didn't eat anything. That I didn't drink anything. But I had to bounce so many people. I was like a tiny little bouncer, ball of fire. The groomsmen nicknamed me Trouble. I was like, yeah, that's me. They're like, here comes trouble. I'm like, yeah, that's me. Because the night before the wedding, these people were outside. Okay, we were in a hotel. The wedding happened in a word. We were in a hotel. And I had to practically almost put the groom in a headlock to make him go to sleep. I was like, you have to go. Your wedding is early in the morning. What are you doing awake? And then the same thing with the bride and the groom. I'm like, everybody, take your ass, go to bed. We're gonna be late in the morning. Were we late? Yes. Were we that late? Not that late, but still. I was just like, I don't want to be the mom, but I couldn't help it. It's the first daughter in me. Like the minute I was like, all right, first daughter, project manager. It was never going to end well for everybody because I was always going to step in and be like, you go do this, you go do that, you march now. And they were like, whoa. I had a great time. The highlight of it all was like this because we were at the hotel that we were at. Was there's a bunch of soldiers there, army generals and whatever, and we're like, okay, I don't know what the hell's going on, but okay, this is cool, this is nice. And then there was a particular soldier there who I made his acquaintance by bullying him out of an elevator because we were carrying things as standard practice. The women were carrying stuff up and down the elevators, and we got to the elevator, and the groom was in there with a bunch of other groomsmen and this other person who I also thought was a groomsman. And I was like, we're not gonna wait for the elevator. Get out and walk. And they were looking at me. I'm like, I'm not kidding. Get out and walk. The elevator door tried to close. Like, oh, I'm like, get out of this elevator and walk. And the groom was like, whoa. Playfully, obviously. People who love me. So I'm like, get out and walk. So they all got out. They were like, okay, man, whatever. It was one floor. I was like, walk the rest of the floor. We're going up. So they got out, and then the other guy got out. He was like, I'm just going to get out of this elevator. And he got out, and everybody else got out. And much later, when I saw him, I was like, oh, you're a soldier. He's like, yeah. I'm like, and you let me bully you out of an elevator? Good for me. And I high-fived myself. I walked away. The guy was like, who? Needless to say, I've made a name for myself in Nigeria. Yeah. But it was good times. That's all I'm here to state. I'm also here to state that it's true what they say about soldiers. Those people are residents on the streets. I do not know. The things my eyes saw, the things that we saw, I was just like, wow, is this, wow. I thought it was a myth, but dang, you people are out here, president of the Landlords Association of the Streets. Cool beans. But back to the wedding. So the next day dawned. We had like a sip and paint. The night before the wedding, it was so much fun. I lost my painting. Great. I lost so many things at the wedding. Like I was telling Bibi this morning, I lost so much jewelry. Like I lost a ring that was like my favorite ring. I lost this necklace set that was like my favorite thing. And it's now that I'm slowly unpacking. I'm like, where's my stuff? Because I was gonna wear that necklace set this morning and it's not there. Well, but I came back with the things that were important. My passport is here. All my debit cards are here. So that's okay. That's okay. Because things get rough when my debit cards are not here. How am I going to shop? We can't do that. So yeah, but the wedding was great. The morning of the wedding, maid of honors, they see things because my sister's dress was a voluminous A-line. It's not a ball gown. It wasn't a ball gown. It was an A-line dress, and it had what's the word? The thing. Oh shoot, crinoline underneath. It was like wired crinoline, right? So to get her into the car, to get her out of the car, brides, they are using their eyes to see Pepe because wow. And then we whenever she was walking, I had to hold the dress off the floor, and then whenever she needed to sit down, we had to maneuver and get her to sit down. Then I had to hold the bouquet when she wasn't holding the bouquet, and then on top of all of that, Nigeria is hot, so we're like fanning. Even though the AC was on, I was fanning, I was sweating, and then my hair was stressing me out because there was fans and it was getting in my face, and then my dress. I was in church, so my dress had a different style. My dress was off the shoulder. Every other person had like the one strap going on. It was very cute, but mine was off the shoulder just to demarcate because maid of honor or whatever. Big mistake, because that dress decided that it was inside the church that it was going to embarrass me. Everywhere, it literally one priest called me was like, "They got me here, this your dress," and that was like, you need to know what to do about this dress. And I almost wanted to be like, first of all, sexist. Women can wear what they want. This is 2022. And then I now looked at the place that I was like, this is inside the church. You were inside the church in the first place. Don't do that. So I was like, I just looked away. And then in my head, I was like, as if I wasn't suffering enough because every time I bent down, the dress was like, I'm like, it was. So imagine me the whole time. I'm sure in all the videos, it would be this, and I hold the dress. And I hate tugging out my outfits when I have it on. I hate it so much. It's like one of my biggest pet peeves. I always say to people, if you're gonna fidget with the outfit, don't wear it. If you're gonna tug at it all day long, do not wear it. Put something on that you put on, and it's like either second skin or it's just like lays so comfortably on you that you don't need to fidget with, excuse me, with the outfit, right? So for me to be fidgeting, imagine how irritated I was. I was like, I hate this dress, pisses me off. Looks great. It looks great. Came out great in pictures. I looked amazing. But yeah, that was the day of the wedding. And then the night of the wedding came. Obviously, when everything is done, my sister she was just like, we're done here. Goodbye. Like, what? But anyway, so like the wedding was, long story short, like when the video comes out, because I was a complete nuisance at that wedding. But I made sure that the fashions were on point. Like there's a whole other like long segment of how I'm so proud of my sister how she got it done because we did the white wedding and the traditional wedding same day, and then the traditional wedding we just basically like slipped out of we didn't have anything on our hair, so we put this ashebi thing on our head, which basically turned the outfit into like a trad wedding outfit, and it was like so cool. It was, I'm so proud of my sister and her wedding. It was a good wedding. It was a wedding I would have been proud to call my own wedding. That's how well it was executed. So it was so nice. And then at the end of the day, we all sat down. I got my booze later. So don't assume that I didn't drink during the wedding, but afterwards, I got my booze on, hung out with my cousins, trash talks the soldier, trash talks the groom. I had a great time. It was a great time. I'm so happy. Like, shout out to my sister, Maribel, and her new husband, Namdi, who basically was part of the family and has now integrated into like for real, being related to us. I love you both and happy married life. Mwah. This is where I'm going to end today's episode. We'll talk about Lagos much later because I can't add both. There's not enough time. Lagos was a spell on its own. But yeah, cheers. Hope you enjoyed my little rambling. I'm gonna see y'all later. Oh, right. I need to tell you where to find me. I keep forgetting. At Unruly Fashion Pod on Instagram, at the Podpire Network. You need to go follow them because they are the reason I can do this. At the Noella if you want my personal account. And yeah, every Wednesday, bright and early, I'm here with stories, regaling you with tales of my life. And then you're gonna see this full outfit. It is the baddest outfit ever. You're gonna see it when I post it. ASAP. I have to do that first. But yeah, till next time. See you later. Adios. Thank you for joining me on this 15-minute journey. Is it gonna be 15 minutes? Who knows? Probably. Odds are high. Mwah. Bye.